Incredible. Another island among the clouds.
I can sense another bracelet near here. We're quite close now, I'm certain. Ah, there it is. The bracelet of the lonely air.
I hope the emblem inside is friendly. Well, time to find out. Heed our summons, Emblem of Heroes!
I am Veronica, Imperial Princess of Embla. Name yourself.
Hello, Emblem Veronica. I'm the Divine Dragon. It's an honor.
An honor? What a strange thing to say.
I'm honored to speak with such a distinguished emblem. There's nothing strange about that. And it just so happens we need all the allies we can get. Would you consider joining us?
Joining you? As your ally? You have it the wrong way around. It is you who would be joining the Emblean army. But very well. I accept. You may join the heroes I have summoned from other worlds.
You can do that?
Yes. Where I come from, that power belongs to one called the Summoner. When I became an emblem, I developed the same ability. Now I am gathering heroes from other worlds, that I might bring the kingdom of Asker to ruin.
I've never heard of any Kingdom of Asker.
Never mind that. You will make a fine pawn in my schemes.
Now, hold on a second.
There is no time for delay. I must make you my hero before the Summoner can do the same. Prepare yourself for combat. The victor commands the vanquished.
Wait! I don't want to fight!
You don't have a choice. Let's begin.
Welcome to Veronica's Paralogue. After completing Tiki's map, we have access to all of the DLC paralogs. If your goal is to make the game as easy as possible, you should do most of them now. Each one lets you build bond ranks, break the level curve, and of course get more emblems. Similarly, if you want to make the game as hard as possible, you should do the paralogs late, when they're the hardest relative to the strength of your army and the bracelets don't have as much time to help you. I'm trying to find an enjoyable middle ground. I'll delay some emblems until later, so I have extra challenge maps to show off my late game team, and I don't get too strong too quickly. I'll get a few emblems sooner, so I can explore their mechanics throughout the series. The DLC emblems are mostly designed to work in the background. They aren't as meta-defining as Sigurd or Micaiah. I'm hoping that my ordering will show off DLC-specific content, without feeling like I'm playing an entirely different game than people without those options. You'll see what I mean when I review Veronica. That brings us to Veronica's map. Yet again, we're asked to split our army, but unlike previous elaborations on this theme, it's not easy to connect your teams. It really does play almost like two separate maps, at least until you activate the tiles on each side. At that point, the three main islands merge, and you have direct access to Veronica herself. She is not especially intimidating with the normal boss rush tactics, especially because she moves with her squad and can be easily baited. But she will show off her ability to summon units several times before you can reach her. Make sure you have access to healing and the necessary items on both sides, and do think about whether both groups can handle different unit types. Jean got a whopping 6 levels last map, but he's still a weak underleveled unit. He can fight, but he'll need an emblem to carry him. That's Tiki's specialty. I've tried to empathize that you shouldn't feel obligated to maximize Starsphere, but I'm not immune to the siren song of extra numbers. We'll be trying to feed him as much experience as possible. Céline will have Micaiah to support him in that mission. She has actual synergy with Micaiah beyond just enjoying her fountain of XP. I've trained her to level 5 in the arena, so she can work on building higher bond ranks and unlocking those synergies. Because I've given Lapis such a hard time, only 2 seals, 2 stat boosters, and an Adept book, I gave her level 10 with Marth. She'll use Mercurius's XP boost on the Eastern Front. Let's do this.
Divine One, I fear it may be impossible for us to reach Emblem Veronica on this terrain.
Use these tiles to reach my position.
We should split into teams and head for the activation tiles.
Once I defeat you, I will make you mine. Poor thing. How's that?
With the strength tonic, Jean just barely hits the one-shot threshold with Tail Smash. As often, he needs the 3 extra damage Alear's support provides. Amber rolled Shield Gamut like a champ. As often, instead of laboriously planning around 50-50 enemy movements, Obstruct can force the archer to cooperate. I was a big Obstructor before this series, but when planning clears like I am, it's truly indispensable.
You got it.
I gave Anna level 3 of Sigurd for momentum, which gives her a little bit more oomph. That'll be quite useful for one-rounding these armors, but for now we want her to hold back.
An invitation?
That way Céline can get the experience instead.
I claim this victory. I'm at 100%.
Lapis equips a hand axe to one-round the mage. Enemy AI would rather get killed on the counter than do single-digit damage to Anna. Chloé just chills, she's not able to engage these enemies alone. Whenever there's a single-file choke point like these bridges, there's a tremendous difference between killing on enemy phase and chipping our foe. We can only continue moving forward if enemies aren't blocking us in. Some maps let a bulky unit fight a lot, but on a map like this one, if we want to fight a lot of enemies, we have to continually move forward. Offense is the limiting factor on doing so.
No!
To the ease we can rush in and deal with everyone in player phase. There aren't many units who are good against armors and mages, and definitely not with a single weapon, so player phasing works best here. I'll admit a little Wyvern envy, because Lapis would probably be able to really shine with Leaf. Rider's Bane, Hammer, and Hand Axe cover your bases. Instead, she has nothing to do on this turn.
Ready.
I've had my eye on you.
I love a good crit animation, especially when my plan stays intact. Céline needs Warp Ragnarok because she'd otherwise fall hopelessly behind everyone. 4 movement and no counters are a rough combo. Jean will have the same problems on his end.
My apologies. Allow your soul the rest it deserves.
Speaking of Jean, he can start getting these kills.
We'll be together forever.
Amber again gets lucky with friendly rivalry, so he'll build up some extra bond rank. Divinely Inspiring is important to guarantee the kill on the Monk. Céline's obstructing our positioning ensures that both units here will attack Jean on enemy phase, while also ensuring that the axe fighter ahead of us only has one spot to attack Jean from. Céline has lower defense than Jean, but higher avoid. Generally, the AI cares about expected damage.
Forgive me. I'm getting sleepy. Too close. We'll be together forever.
Fire Emblem AI generally doesn't understand the idea of not blocking allies. If the Lance Fighter had moved first, both could have attacked, but now the Mage is blocking. And it would live either way. We're again trying to use Canter and Obstruct for optimal Jean training. Amber yet again rolls the right gambit, so he gets extra bond rank. The conundrum here is how to let Jean use Divine Blessing and get the kill on the Hand Axe Fighter. Normally a 1-2 range enemy wouldn't oblige us and attack Jean at melee range to get killed. There's another issue, is that Alear won't be able to offer Divinely Inspiring support. Jean will just need to crit.
I had to stop you.
The solution? Augmented Obstruct. With the fighter completely penned in, and no targets except Jean and Céline, just like last turn the Axe Fighter will fix Jean. You're seeing the limitations of Tiki. We're having to pull out all the stops to give Jean a kill from anyone with 2-range weaponry, and as the game goes on, those weapons become ubiquitous.
I'll be careful. For all our sake! What a joyous feeling!
It's all worth it for level ups like that. On the eastern front, we need to avoid anyone getting stuck on the bridge. Chloé's our only flyer, so she has to take out the first enemy. She makes sure to enter the range of the next Thunder Mage to get that group moving towards us. Blazing Lion's quite situational, because the flames hinder movement. Even with the opportunity for a double strike, we can't use it here. Plus many Roy users double, and so you're missing out on that. Lapis can now move her full distance and get a Mercurius kill, clearing the bridge. These fighters can barely touch her, but despite that enemy phase, Mercurius combat still doesn't work. Mages have 2 range, armors are too bulky, and the lances would break her. We'll instead make sure to give her as many player phase kills as possible. Citrine's struggling to keep pace with the others, but I want to give her a lot of training. The solution? Unlocking Recover in the arena. Anna takes out this armor. Sigurd and Canter are great for finding safe havens to snipe units from. I actually messed up here. I was supposed to keep the Wind Tome, so I had that option here. It would mean Anna kills in 3 hits instead of 2, which gives me a way of changing Jean's RNG. We'll just need him to bail us out.
No way! You won't suffer long.
Jean doesn't need any second chances. Had me in the first half, not gonna lie. The amount of extra animations they added just for Tiki is pretty impressive. This is all meat and potatoes Fire Emblem, picking good matchups, luring units, and taking them out. Chloé and Lapis handle the mages, and Anna handles the armor. Citrine has a staff, so she doesn't need that kill for experience.
Now the true battle begins.
If you're improvising a clear, I definitely recommend having a source of healing on both sides. We don't actually need it here, but things get dicey if one side's relying on Great Sacrifice alone. It's also much more convenient for routing XP. Citrine's hard to train because she's so frail, so we don't want to waste her turn.
I cannot afford to lose.
We've now moved far enough forward to activate the eastern reinforcements. From some basic testing, moving a unit above this line seems to trigger them. Now Jean's out of meter. We want to refill him quickly. Luckily for us, Jean can survive being doubled by these archers. Those extra hits will make the meter routing work. The archers attack him because they see big damage, so Alear and Amber can move fully forward. Alear can get a boost from Cantor, but Amber would do too much damage and the archer would die from Jean's first attack. This is one reason to keep magic weapons on non-mages. Having weak attacks that proc Cantor can come in handy. Celine's only going to get 18 XP from Great Sacrifice. That's indicative of how staff XP changes throughout the game. The level difference penalty hurts her because she's so much higher level than everyone else. Even if everyone else were level 99 though, there's another penalty based solely on the user level. Heals XP and by extension Great Sacrifices would still decline. Augmented high end stays like Recover continue providing absurd XP throughout the game. The Great Sacrifice really is a tool for early game training project. Of course, even without giving a unit a whole level, it still heals our entire team. Have I mentioned Micaiah's really good?
You're useless.
I'll do my best. Lend me your strength.
It's time to engage Leaf. This axe fighter doesn't move, so even with his hand axe, 4 Folkvanger hits will work. With Adaptable, Alear can equip the Levin Sword against the archer. Jean gets revenge on the archer who weakened him, yet more experience and engage meter. Just last map, Jean was level 1. Now he can beat an enemy in a fair fight. They grow up so fast.
I grow weary.
Céline mends herself and Jean. Because she's so overleveled, healing herself is the best source of XP she has.
You got it!
Amber just keeps moving forward and getting lucky. I'm always so curious what luck I'll get on the run I record, and so I'm ecstatic to see this luck on a great map for building bond rank. Lapis doesn't have an available Mercurius kill. Yet. Chloé fixes that. This kind of maneuver is a good reason to make sure units like Chloé keep a smash weapon in their inventory. You never know when you might need to move an enemy around.
I'm prepared. My prayers are with you. I live to fight again.
Anna pokes this monk, so he uses his vulnerability and stays in place, making sure to take a hit for her engage meter. This squad will have some time, so there's no need to defeat him immediately. It's good to remember that, because this enemy drops a vulnerability in case he didn't plan for healing on this side, he will be able to use it to heal himself. Céline would die from the armor's attack. That 1 HP from Resonance sometimes makes all the difference. Because he has a smash weapon, we can avoid his attack entirely by just standing here menacingly. When you double an attacker with a smash weapon, you strike twice before they strike once. This Mage Chairman has started taking potshots at us. Very inaccurate potshots. Speaking of inaccurate attacks, dragons get hit plus 30 while engaged, which cancels out the wood's plus 30 avoid. Unfortunately, the archer is covert, so that bonus gets doubled, and her hit rate's still bad. All we need is for one of Alear, Jean, and Amber to hit though, and because Engage doesn't distort hit rates below 50%, the less likely Hail Marys have better odds than in 3 houses. Citrine's let Anna take the armor kill so far, but it really is her specialty. Anna has a Forge Elfire, Promotion, Reclass, Spirit Dust, and Momentum. All Citrine needs is Celica and the Speed plus 2 meal you are probably cooking anyway.
Where to?
Lapis executes the Uno reverse card maneuver, switching from a sword to a hand axe to get this kill thanks to break defensive. Because the Flamelance Flyer attacks Lapis, Lapis is guaranteed to have this kill while standing on the energy tile. This series is the first time I've had to really deal with enemy movement randomness, because normally I'm not replaying maps. I found this motif useful. Here, no matter how the flyer moved, I know they're within 2 squares of the energy tile, because that's where Lapis was. You could instead have Lapis move and replace her position with a different unit, and you'd have the same guarantee. Anna, Chloé, and Citrine team up for this kill. Anna's making sure to refill her meter, and Citrine's ending on the energy tile.
Thank you for the dance.
I'll manage.
Alear uses quadruple hit to unblock the bridge. It's always funny how units with good support skills suffer from their own success. Despite an extra 20% damage, I'd still say Alear has easily the worst quadruple hit in the game, because she's the only one without plus 12 from Divinely Inspiring. I'm happy to showcase the pairing once, but it won't be a fixture of the series. I did get to use the hit plus 30 here, which is neat, but that's also normally useless on someone as accurate as Alear.
Sounds perfect.
Never tell Jean the odds. Normally, we'd use Céline's mystical bonus to finish off this archer, but I'm in a rare spot. Alear and Jean both hit, and Amber has Flame Gambit. He wouldn't get any bond rank from chilling. I decided to go for broke and see if Amber can get the kill. That's better for XP routing anyway. Céline still needs the extra movement from an action, but that can just be healing. Amber doesn't let me down. Flame Gambit does change a few of my notes. I end up rewinding because of that. Jean gets the kill on the Axe Fighter, refilling Tiki. Alear is a springboard for Céline. She'll engage with a lone Cavalier, which also recharges Micaiah. Moving past this pool triggers reinforcements, at least in my testing.
Still good.
Anna moves in range of the Mage Cannon. That'll be the last bar she needs on her meter. I get mixed up reading notes from an older clear. Citrine can't engage now. Lapis is looking at her watch, tapping her foot, waiting for the Western squad to show up. Chloé's going to activate the eastern tile, because flyers don't get moved when the islands merge. She won't be able to attack the island on the turn we merge anyway. Thank you, Mage Cannon. That was just what Anna needed. The Cavalier needs to attack Céline from the north, as he did. I used Rewind to accomplish this earlier, but it worked out in this timeline.
Enjoy dying. Vanish.
We're still going to wait a turn before activating the western tile, so Chloé will be able to move the turn we do so.
Nothing happens when it's just the one. We should try stepping on the activation tile over there as well, Divine One.
May I call on you?
Jean doesn't have the movement to player phase the new foes, but he can Divine Blessing and enemy phase.
Emblem Engage! I'll be good.
Getting 1000 SP on this map means this is the last time he'll be so far behind.
My resolve is unchanged.
I get greedy and go for more Céline XP than in my notes.
Please grant me
This doesn't
strength.
work because Céline's a tile too far on the next turn. There's an easy fix that still gives me an extra mend.
Emblem Engage!
This Cavalier is our stepping stone. First Alear's Canter, then Raging Storm. I'd be totally happy if Amber missed, so Jean could get the kill. But with a hit crystal and Aspiring Hero, that's not happening.
I must stay focused.
Amber also gets to use the Engage attack. He's just rocketing up the bond ranks.
Right where I want you. I must stay focused.
Okay, so this enemy phase is a tad unreliable. Amber has a dodge at 35% that would kill him. Jean also needs a crit for a kill. Coincidentally, that's also a 65% success rate.
We'll be
I should have made the Mage
together
Cannon move to attack Amber. I wanted the Mage Cannon to end up on the southernmost tile, and if he had to move towards Amber, he'd have another shot at doing so. I should have just rerolled for that when he initially moved, but I was ecstatic with my Amber Gambit luck and didn't want to risk losing a ton of rewinds to bad RNG.
Yes.
With Canter, Céline can activate the western tile without wasting her turn.
I have to fight.
You do need to take out the Mage Cannon to avoid a kill chance on her.
What? The islands are shaking! Well, it seems we have ourselves a path. Now we can bring the fight to Emblem Veronica.
Jean has an enemy left for XP. Alear can help him get the kill.
We'll be together forever.
Not a bad day of training. Geosphere in particular is especially useful. This Mage Cannon movement never happened in rehearsal, so I used some remaining rewinds to figure out my plan. Move Chloé in between rewinds. Apologies for cutting out that riveting gameplay. Anna has Canter, so she can move out of the way for Lapis to take the kill. This is yet another spot Canter is indispensable. Whenever you have limited squares to attack from, an army with Canter can do many times more damage, and you get control over who's vulnerable at the end of the turn. Sadly, Lapis can't get this kill with Mercurius.
Let's go together. I cannot afford to lose.
Veronica aggroes with her group and summons more reinforcements far away from us.
Enjoy dying. You're useless.
Anna could go get kills over there if Lapis just one-rounded the Mage Cannon like I had hoped. In the other setup, though, Amber doesn't have a valid target for Raging Storm. Despite my zeal for feeding Jean, I do eventually realize that I want Amber to have this instead.
I must stay focused.
I never had a rehearsal where Amber got bottom level 8. Playing riskily and getting bailed out by luck has actually helped me pursue my training goals. Alear can quadruple hit and then set up Divinely Inspiring.
Emblem Engage.
You've come far. Well done.
If we defeat you here, do you promise you'll join us?
You have little to gain from that. I, on the other hand, stand to acquire a new hero for my forces.
Take it back. All of it.
Right where I want you! I must stay focused.
As is tradition, we're trying to set up a final mend. Ragnarok and Chloé can attack from behind Veronica.
Not about to stop here.
Before this series, I had no idea Anna had special dialogue here. I'm trying to route dialogue in when I can, so I'm glad I didn't miss it. It makes sense. As we'll see, Anna's a great fit for Veronica, and she's her best link story-wise.
Are you of the Order of Heroes? No. You're rather small, aren't you?
Order of Heroes? What a cool name! I'm not familiar, though. Maybe you met my sister. I believe my sisters are in your world, too. Ooh, I wonder what kind of goods they were selling.
You're unusual. You must be from an interesting family.
Anna's override is so adorable!
Sign it off! How's
Sigurd rank 5 was a training goal I'm happy to finish. It's truly a mystery what I plan to inherit with that bond rank and 1000 SP. Céline continues to use staves to break the level curve. This is another reason that classes with staves and good combat make such good early promotion. In the early game, with fewer enemies to get experience from, staves give a unit more levels they can then use for better combat. Mercurius yet again gets the boss kill.
I must end you.
There's nothing for me.
That was an interesting clear. This is literally the first map I haven't tried to make more or less a tutorial, and I'm already risking death on 35% chances. We'll call it a tribute to Veronica. She is, after all, the Gotcha emblem.
Why? Why do I always lose? This is not fair.
You said the victor commands the vanquished. Does that mean you'll join us now? We're fighting for peace in this world.
Your cause doesn't concern me.
As the princess of an empire, you must have fought for the sake of your people. We're doing the same thing here. I'm sure you can understand that.
A ruler's duty is to the people. Indeed, I have said as much before, but I did all that I could for Embla, and still my goals were forever out of reach. You have many allies, and the power to summon emblems. Is that not enough? You already have all you could possibly need.
We could always use more help. I, for one, would feel a lot better with you on our side.
I have nothing to offer you.
That's not true. You're a strong and capable leader. You'd be a powerful friend to have.
You really do say strange things. Friendship doesn't interest me, but perhaps it is better than being alone. Fine. You may use my power for a time.
Thank you, Emblem Veronica. Let's head back. Your new allies are all going to be happy to meet you.
We'll see about that. It has been a long time since I've been among a crowd. I'm not accustomed to such things. Still, the thought is not an unpleasant one. I will speak with these allies of yours.
I feel like we just recruited Ciri. Some Heroes fans are unhappy this is the iteration they went with in Engage, but I don't play Heroes, so I have no opinion on the matter. I'm just happy to have her on the team.
Listen to this.
Don't worry, she's just shy or something. While I enjoy the pretty environment and pick up loot, let's see why I wanted Veronica on the team the instant I had a chance. Veronica's from Fire Emblem Heroes. She's an outlier among the emblems. Her bonuses seem incoherent at first, but from the right perspective she makes perfect sense. She's also perhaps the most mechanically complicated emblem in the game. Get some popcorn, because this will be a hefty analysis. Part of Veronica's kit feels made for dominant enemy phase mages. Her stat bonuses are middling, but the magic's nice. She has two incredibly fun weapons that complement your standard tomes without simply having effective damage. Her first engage weapon, Scalf, prevents enemy counterattacks. Elivagar disables enemy buffs. I can't tell you about every edge case, but as a general rule, if a buff shows up in the details menu under a basic stat, Elivagar disables it. Both have situations they shine, especially against the toughest enemies, exactly when you'd want an engage weapon to be useful. Scalf's also important as simply a strong tome lookalike level 1 weapon. Units like Yunaka really appreciate having a magic option their class doesn't normally offer. Her true calling card is Reprisal. Missing HP becomes an attack buff. Reprisal is the single best damage boost in Engage. There are skills with easier activations or more potential damage, but none that rival Reprisal's combination of flexibility and power. Compare Magic plus 5. All you need to lose is 17 HP or 10 with Reprisal Plus, and you're getting the same benefit, plus added strength. Units have a lot more than 10 HP. If you try, you can easily see Reprisal act as magic and strength plus 15. Missing 30 HP isn't nothing, of course, but there are workarounds: Bondage Shield, Vantage, Holdout, Stacking Bulk, etc. Veronica has other bonuses that instead suggest she's a support emblem. Her Engage attack, Summon Hero, summons a random unit with a random rank: 3-star unpromoted units, 4-star promoted units, and 5-star emblems. The summon disappears when your Engage meter runs out, and any kills they get don't give you XP. They can't trade or be traded with. You can't just take their weapons and sell them. Summon Hero is the sort of thing you can spend hundreds of hours using and never really take the time to figure out. I would know, because this series was the catalyst for me to finally do my homework on it. The chances for 3, 4, and 5-star pulls are 30%, 40%, and 30% respectively. Unlike Heroes, you will actually see 5-star emblems fairly often. Dragon units have the 3-star chance folded into the 4-star chance, so you always get at least a promoted unit. Doing combat advances the RNG this uses, so if you're willing to spend a couple of rewinds, there's a good chance you can get an emblem. There's a few other random outcomes you might want to roll for: pulling a backup unit for chain attacks, or a mounted unit that could cover more distance. If you want to mount, pick blue. Lance units have the Royal Knight without an equivalent in other weapon types, so it's the best for pulling mounts. If you want a backup, pick red or green. Both swords and axes have the same chances. Colorless means thieves, mages, and healers. Notably, you can pull units who don't have any weapons, so make sure to account for that possibility. Having chain guards or poison can be great, however. Summon Hero is an awesome translation of gacha mechanics into Fire Emblem, at least if my nightmares of rolling for Amber every playthrough are any indication. It's fun because all that RNG trivia isn't actually too relevant. If you're relying on specific Veronica pulls, you have no one to blame but yourself for uncooperative RNG. Instead, you normally use her ability the way you use disposable units in other Fire Emblem games: baiting scary enemy formations, extending your movement range, blocking off enemies, etc. If you're expecting a warm body and get Sigurd, that feels great. But it's not like you're expecting Sigurd and then getting frustrated the way you might when a unit misses an 85. There's some cool stuff you can do with Summon Hero, and I'll try to show that in the series, but it often replaces a more interesting solution to a problem you're facing. Like Divine Blessing, there are parts of the game that aren't well balanced around having cannon fodder, and definitely parts not balanced around pulling Marth out of a hat. I'll often use it just for XP and bond rank. Her Engage skill, Contract, is a great value dance. It lets a unit act again, but with 0 movement. You might think this would loop indefinitely with a Dancer, but they thought of that. Contracted units can't dance. Because of how emblems work, trading the Veronica user's action for someone else's can often do a lot more than you'd think. An extra turn of Micaiah or an extra attack in Draconic form are far better than an average turn. I find Contract most useful for boss kills. It lets one unit you've tailored to a specific boss threshold take out 2 health bars instead of 1. As another support tool, her Staff Fortify Plus gives AoE healing and status removal. It has the same XP formula as if you use a Micaiah Augmented Heal with a 7-tile radius. Like other Engage staves, it's powerful in part because its durability regenerates with the Engage meter. While I won't focus on it, there are certainly ways you can use this to break the level curve. So half of Veronica sets you up for dominant enemy phase combat, and half offers support utility without using your own stats at all. Which half should you play to? The answer lies in our next few skills, which give us a clearer picture. First, Book of Worlds. Every consecutive turn you wait, you stack different bonuses onto your next attack. The most useful effect is the first, freezing the next foe targeted. You can combine this with Lead Scalp to contain powerful enemies without letting them hit you. There are precious few ways to replace that utility in Engage. The second bonus sets the attack space on fire, which is situationally useful in places where there's a terrain bonus like fog you can remove, or if you're chipping a boss. More casual runs, where units don't always have something to do, Book of Worlds is a nice consolation prize for idling. I wouldn't aim for units sitting around twiddling their thumbs half the map. The effects aren't that good. Level Boost does the opposite of Book of Worlds. It rewards killing higher level foes by giving you a bit of Royce bonus. That higher level condition is interesting. It can't snowball you ahead of the enemies you're facing. Another difference from Roy's effect is that you can't easily see what it'll give you, but if you're dedicated, you can plan around it to reach benchmarks more easily. SP conversion is the final piece of the puzzle. It gives 20 SP per kill. This isn't great for egalitarian playthroughs at a fast pace, but if you're willing to grind reinforcements, you can get incredible SP totals from it. As it happens, Veronica has a fabulous reward for your efforts. Reprisal Plus costs an eye-watering 6,000 SP. That's 300 kills with SP conversion. Unwieldy, yes, but doable, especially with books and normal SP gain. What's the unifying thread of all these eclectic bonuses? Veronica is not an emblem for weak units, or an emblem for primary combatants. She is the emblem for turning weak units into primary combatants. She's all about rags to riches, zero to hero. If she had LinkedIn, she'd post non-stop about the grind set, hitting the gym at 5 AM, and how the 3-star unit she summoned that got wrecked by a boss needed to just work harder. I think that metaphor got away from me, but the point stands. Veronica brilliantly translates into Engage the kind of dopamine-driven gameplay Fire Emblem Heroes embodies. Let's say you give Veronica to your favorite character. To make this hypothetical more fun, let's say Clan. Even if he's badly underleveled and would evaporate on contact with an enemy, Veronica gives him options. Lead Scalp, besides continuing the proud legacy of Fire Emblem weapons that would end a Spelling Bee, gives him kills even if his foe would kill on the counterattack. Fortify Plus is like a knockoff Great Sacrifice. It won't scale into the late game, but for low-level units it gives huge XP. Summon Hero, free XP, and clan stats literally do not matter. Book of Worlds rewards the slow, methodical play you'd expect from trying to feed one unit a bunch of kills. Level Boost gives you extra stats to get those kills after the first couple in any given map. Then, as clan becomes more capable, you get SP conversion. Even if XP plateaus, or you're fighting skirmish enemies and Void Curse reinforcements, you get something for every foe you defeat. After a lot of work, the sweet payoff comes. I didn't mention that Elevagr is an 18 might tome. Clan don't like that. Then he unlocks Reprisal Plus, a skill so good it costs 6,000 SP. Thanks to SP conversion, you can inherit the best skills in the game to pair with it, or take Reprisal Plus itself and pair it with a different ring. Your sweet pickle-loving steward is now a walk-in nuclear weapon. Is high investment Veronica optimal? No, not even close. As with Tiki, don't feel obligated to go all out. In terms of effort, there are far easier ways to dominate. There's more to Engage, however, than what takes the least effort. Veronica can be the emblem you build your entire run around, but she can also be a fun side project you pursue while using more meta-shaping emblems to actually beat the game. Summon Hero and Contract are just rock-solid Fire Emblem mechanics any team can enjoy. Were your trouble, eventually you'll get a unit with Reprisal Plus that can definitely shine, and that's gratifying, even if it isn't necessary. If I can be frank, I was pretty skeptical an emblem from Fire Emblem Heroes could work in Engage. It feels like bringing a kazoo to a symphony. I'm quite happy to have been proven wrong, and I'm glad we'll get a lot of time to work with Veronica. In classic video game fashion, I've spent a month and 4 videos doing random side quests right after an urgent crisis in the story. Longtime viewers may faintly recall that a war is brewing on the Brodia-Lugia border, and King Morion charged headlong into danger. With our new friends in tow, next time we'll return to Chapter 9. Bye, Papaya!